Welcome back, all of you adventurers of sports. Sonoma State Dynasty is back on the Rabbit Hole Sports and Media YouTube channel. Game 2 of Season 3, we take on the number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks, moved into the top 25 rankings ourselves after our win last week up to 19. But we have our biggest test in the Dynasty so far this week. So this is the biggest game in SSU history. Just a Week 2 game, but a top 20 showdown. First time taking on a number 1 team, best team we have played so far. Up for debate. Is this the biggest game in SSU history? Unlike last week, we can't fall behind. We need to stay in it early, and that is going to be tough to do. We'll get more into that, but let's jump into the rest of business first. Starting with recruiting as usual, we get locked out by 3-star defensive tackle Jamie Menicall out of Olympia, Washington. We replaced him with 4-star defensive tackle Miles Ruggins from LaGrange Park, Illinois. We also got locked out by 2-star defensive tackle Brett Dreisbach from Mission Viejo, California. We replaced him on the board with 3-star defensive tackle Spencer Lamar from Matthews, North Carolina. In the top 25, it is Oregon, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Boston College, Penn State, and USC taking the top 10 spots. Of the Super 2 conferences, the Big Ten and SEC, 6 Big Ten teams in the top 25, 7 SEC schools in the top 25. In the Power 4, the ACC actually matches the ACC functioning as the CUSA in this, matches the SEC with 7 teams in the top 25. Now, the SEC has more teams in the top 10, but the ACC now functioning as a normal conference. It'll be cool to see if they can have some teams become more consistently nationally relevant, or we can kind of get a Super 3 of some sort going on. But anyway, not to get ahead of ourselves, but cool to see the ACC have that many teams in the rankings. 1 American team is ranked, the Big 12 has 2 teams in there, and the Pac-12 has ourselves and UCSB in the top 25. No group of 4 teams ranked. JMU technically is a group of 4, but again, playing up in the ACC, so they are one of the 7 ranked ACC teams. Looking around the rest of the country this week and the top games, Penn State and Temple in a Pennsylvania interstate rivalry. Number 16 Rutgers takes on number 8 Boston College in Massachusetts. Texas San Antonio goes to Texas State for the I-35 showdown. Number 25 Iowa State taking on Iowa for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Number 7 Oklahoma at number 11 Michigan in SEC Big Ten showdown. And then just wanted to note, we are one of the top games. So in the menu, they kind of show the top 4 games of the week, and we are one of them. First time that has happened in the Dynasty. So cool thing to show a little bit of growth, I thought. But getting into the Ducks, this again is the best all-around roster we have faced, in my opinion. They're very good at every position, not necessarily elite at any. Again, compared to us, they are going to look a little more elite, but in the scale of national championship, top-level talent in the nation, no mid to high 90s guys. It's all high 80s to mid 90s, or low to mid 90s, but very consistent around the board in that regard. So very well-rounded team, very strong on the D-line. It's going to be very hard to run the ball in this game, and there is going to be a lot of pressure on our receivers and defense. So going to be a challenge. Going to see if our offensive line can hold up against a very good defensive line and how well our receivers can do in one-on-one coverage. Going to be a very good test for our quarterbacks, but again, that's more me seeing the game correctly, but then also there is the element of me knowing how to use the ratings of the quarterbacks to get the most out of them. So, an exciting showdown. Let's get to the highlights. The Rabbit Hole Sports Network, Rabbit Hole Radio, is back on the Rabbit Hole Sports and Media YouTube channel with college football in this virtual 2026 season. We have the 19th ranked Sonoma State Seawolves taking on the top ranked team in the entire country, the Ducks of Oregon, in Autzen Stadium in Eugene today. Should be a treat. An Oregon team featuring NFL level guys at a number of spots. Hot start here. And a Sonoma State program on the rise. Followed the success of the program over the past couple of seasons, and excited to see what they can do in this test today, as we are live here in Eugene as the Ducks get ready to take the field. We see the Duck on the motorcycle, ready to bring out the team. high energy stadium, high energy environment on a gray Saturday for these Seawolves. They come in, take the field, here they are, off a 48-31 victory a week ago over the Louisiana Ragin Cajuns to get their season started. Boise State Oregon got theirs going a week ago against Boise State, picking up a 20-17 victory themselves. A college football playoff team in each of the first two seasons of the dynasty are the Oregon Ducks, and they will be kicking the ball off to get us going here in Eugene. Trey Bell taking the opening kickoff for the Seawolves. He's going to get past the 20-yard line, and with a little bit better maneuvering from myself, could have potentially gotten past the 30 and broken that big, but going to get it to the 29-yard line. Once again, the sophomore Bryce Frost will be the first one under center, forced to find ways to throw the ball. Going to have to get creative, going to have to get fun, and we're going to start today. It's going to be hard to customize routes, and that could be a problem as we go forward. Frost looking for more, and then last week had their stretches, need to put it together in totality here today. Throw over the middle to get things started. That's going to be Noma Nation coverage, which is called Cover 3 Patch. That one will be coming out first. But Cover 3 Milk second. Pressure here, Noma Nation almost sacked. DJ Dean had a shot. Instead, he's going to find his number season to go. One of the best in the country. Should bode well on the goal line, but not on this occasion as Rasmussen is up and over, and Oregon is on the board first, and we are off and running. The top team in the country on the scoreboard in the end zone, coming off a week where they were a little lethargic, barely coming out on top against Boise State 20-17. Good sign to get things going quickly. It is the sophomore running back Von Rasmussen finding his way to Pater. Snap is away to John Hill, and he's going to get the screen away to Ty Hardy. He's going to take it across that yellow marker a couple of times here. It does not register, so we are ultimately just going to run a screen again to the right here. But works very well again. Ty Hardy in space. Frost trying to change things up. Snap is away. Frost out to the left. Ends up having to throw it away. One bunch into the boundary on the right-hand side. The tight end Maverick Bentley on the left. Frost is going to give it to Knight. Just enough space. So if we did audible, at least I would be able to tell if we did so. Nolan Knight gets 8 up. On Hill in at quarterback, 2nd and 13 from the middle of the field, the 44-yard line. Going to motion Matt Clancy from his wide stack into a true slot. Pump fake a screen to the right, back left. LJ Young Jr. with the catch. Plenty of room. He's into Oregon territory. Seeing if you can come up with solutions and finding out where you really are. Ty Hardy on the ground here. He's going to pick up a first down. Vic's going to move as the play clock reaches under 5 seconds. Play action from Hill. He looks to the right. Vic's got it. Takes a hit. Holds on. Touchdown. Noma Nation. And the number 19 team on the road against the Ducks have answered. This is going to be a tie ball game with a good extra point. And the boys in blue right back in it early, answering the score allowed by the defense. And this Oregon crowd taken out of the game just a little bit. And the few donning the dark and light blue combination of Sonoma State have something to cheer about here in the first quarter. 3:22 to go. Vic came in motion on the play. He'll fake the handoff to Nolan Knight, and you'll see going to look off to the right-hand side. That wheel from Bentley gets that defender to move back just enough to give a window for Hill to throw it into. Vic makes a catch, takes a hit, and registers his first career receiving touchdown at the collegiate level. One of the guys we have recruited in the dynasty, a redshirt freshman out of San Diego, California, Jalen Vick. Don't know if that's going to be the case in real life. I believe he is battling with Dante Moore for the starting spot. On this occasion, he throws out to the left. That's going to be here. He is the middle receiver in that group to the left. Rasmussen on the ground, cuts it back. Plenty of space. Missed tackle. Another one from Holland. Riggins in chase. Holland in chase. All for naught. Rasmussen, a deuce of tutties early here in the first quarter, and he's going to pull out the gritty to celebrate. And the Ducks flexing that #1 ranking early here against Sonoma State. All over him on the ground, and the Oregon faithful, they are rowdy. Gray Saturday in the skies, but a sunny Saturday for the Oregon offense here in the early going. Their second score in as many possessions. And in the first quarter, they will take a 14-7 lead with just over 2 minutes to go. On the field with split backs, Knight and Hardy. Maverick Bentley, the tight end to the right. Ball in the middle of the field. Nolan Knight trying to get receiver wide out to the left, out of the shotgun, and an offset running back to the right. Frost to throw. He's going to find Ty Hardy, and that's going to be a first down. Full house backfield. Hardy goes in motion. Fake to Nolan Knight. John Hill's going to look downfield. Underthrown and intercepted. That is number 16, Roderick Pleasant. He's going to run it back, get it to midfield. Shirt senior, he has a takeaway for the Ducks, the 87 overall. You see it on the replay here. We have Javon Moore open. He's behind him. He's, run across his face is the football way to say it, meaning he's running across the field and he's running away from the defender. Just not the arm strength or deep accuracy to make that work if we don't get it in the accurate throwing window, which I did not, and it turns into an interception. Quick out on the throw here. Sim Pressures is running this defense. Novosad from the pocket. He's looking deep left. DeMarvin Holland making a play. Big time for Sonoma State. He's got a lane on the run back. Holland cuts it left and outside. He's got some space. Finally tracked down, but that is a momentum-changing play for this Sonoma State defense. The replay here. Have guys bracketed underneath. Force them to take the one-on-one shot downfield, and Holland plays the ball exceptionally well and channels a little bit of his returner role from a year ago, finding some space on the run back. Thought I could put a better move on the defensive element. They get one. Can the offense get back into the bag a little to the right-hand side? On the RPO, Frost gets it out. West, big-time hit and tackle for loss, and that is going to put this Sonoma State offense in a very tough position. Backfield on the left-hand side as well. Westerman, the lone receiver on the right-hand side, has drawn 3 Oregon defenders, apparently. Did not want to have to run this play, but again, couldn't change it, and all over it in the slot. That is in the game, in the second quarter. Novosad flushed out, hit as he tries to. Ducks come out empty on 3rd and 3. Novosad throws underneath. He's got his man. Looks on defense, test this defensive line a little bit more, make it difficult, or offensive line a little more, make left-hand side, 2 receivers and a tight end. Play action to Rasmussen. Now Novosad throws to him. 5 minutes to go here in the second. Novosad flushed out left. Pressure is going to get there. That is Jordan Underwood. 3rd and 6 here. Novosad from the pocket. Pressure again getting there. This time gets it out to the right. And that is going to be attacked in striking distance. Here in the first half, just under 6 minutes to go. Field goal is up and right down the middle. And he will be coming back into the game whenever he heals. We are not going to force it. Out on the edge, Ty Hardy, his 4th catch of the game. And he's got a first down. Snap away. This time there's plenty of running room for Nolan Knight, and Nolan Knight rumbling on one opportunity, and we let it rip right on time. Always nice when stuff works out like that. Bentley on the move here. 2 receivers and a tight end to the left. Frost flushed underneath. First time today Javon Moore's had his number called, and in many respects. Hill in at quarterback. Gets a quick out with a lead from Bentley. Nice move, Ty Hardy. He has got a first down. If we only get the field goal, we'd have to get a stop for that to be the case. Westerman on a jet sweep the other way. He's going to get around the edge. Mila Westerman out of Hawaii. The freshman crosses the plane. Noma Nation in the end zone. Big time answer. Big time score with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And it is the Seawolves cutting it down to a 1-score affair here in Eugene, Oregon. You see the 2 players in chase there. Cannot set the edge. And it is the freshman Westerman, number 8, who we saw insanely big plays. Novosad moving around. Plenty of room there. This is the tight end, Kenyon Sadiq, on the right-hand side in the backfield. Novosad to throw. Plenty of time. Now flushed right, and pressure forces him to throw 2. Novosad to throw. Pressure was there when he forced him to throw, but it is complete. Roderick over pursued a little bit, and it's going to allowed a first down to be picked up. Plenty of time for Novosad. Pressured. He's hit and taken down. Nick Forsyth gets home. That forces him to scramble. No ways to stop the clock. They got to get back to the line in a hurry, and they cannot do it in time. The clock is going to expire on the Ducks here in the first half, and that is going to cost them an opportunity to add some points going into the break, and it is a 3-point game going into half. Von Rasmussen, 10 carries, 99 yards, a pair of touchdowns in this first half. Felt like Oregon was dominant for spurts of this one, but SSU doing just enough to keep it close, stay on their hip. Gonna see if we can make a couple more big plays than they can down the stretch in this one. Pull off an upset over the #1 team in the country. Best team we have played so far in the Dynasty line. They just wouldn't be like in this next upcoming draft, and they don't have any seniors that would be either. So, you know, I don't know if this is actually the best team in the country, but in terms of playing a team ranked highly, that is still at least truly very, very good and probably pushing to be a true top 5 team in the country. You know, this team fits that criteria better than anyone else we have played so far. A show of pressure look here. They motion out the back. Rasmussen, Novosad, pressure in his face again. That forces a throwaway. Actually, is that the whole picture is not graded off of one individual moment. Right? Not great. But you know what? It's going to happen. We have an opportunity here. Going to get Frost out of the pocket to avoid that pressure. Definitely should have thrown it to Mylau Westerman. Try to take off, pick up. That could also be, I feel like it's the offense's turn to make a play to turn the tide in this game, and we're going to try to do that. But instead, we're going to look ridiculous again. Uiagalele in the backfield at the Sonoma State 38-yard line, and it is Rasmussen right up the middle. One of his better carries since the early part. State showing pressure here on a 1st and 10. They are going to throw. Pressure's going to get home. That's Forsyth, but there is a flag down on the play, and it is illegal contact on the guy I was using, Marquez Carty. So that one's got to be on me. I think we'll get a replay here, and that is going to cancel out a very good play. You'll see it here. I run into the dude crossing there, and it certainly throws him off of his route, but I am chasing a defender. I'm by no means intending to run into him, and I don't think it really looks like my guy is running into him. But that's one of the downsides to the game, not necessarily being able to kind of view motions in context, so to speak, is it just kind of goes off, well, it happened, so we're throwing the flag. End up giving him a 1st down. Rasmussen on the ground, tries to get the edge. Not going to happen. Novosad drops back. Pressure's getting there, and he is going to throw it away out the back of the end zones. And had a guy open to the flat, but luckily had a free runner and forced him to throw. Counter for Ty Hardy. He's going to find some running room between the tackles. Bunch to the right, but Westerman's going to move left. Back right. Snap away. Now he's going to run back left and stop. Going to hit him right on time. That's a 1st down. A lot of movement there from Westerman for the Ducks to account for defensively. Pulled it out at the right time. Out of context, Rabbit Hole sports moment there. But 1st and 10 for Sonoma State to the 31-yard line. Under center now is Frost. 2 receivers left. He's going to drop back. Find Westerman again. He's into Duck territory to the offset in the shotgun. Clancy moves around. He'll throw back on the screen to Bentley. He's got some green space. Nice play from Noma. Game so far, it feels like. Snap away. John Hill finding the end breaker. That's Javon Moore on 3 receivers and a back. This is Nolan Knight, and he is 8. Quick game. Frost, Moore again, his 5th catch now. Frost in the gun, a stack to the left and 2 receivers to the right. One of them is the tight end Bentley. Hardy is in the backfield. Frost steps up, throws late, finds Mylau Westerman for a 1st down, but was Frost past the line? We have a flag down, and he was indeed. So just a little bit too late on the improvisation, making that decision from Frost, and instead of a 1st down, it is a loss of down. This is going to send on the kicker, George Lincoln. He's going to put it right down, well, I won't say that's right down the middle. With trips to the left. Play action to Rasmussen. Plenty of time. Carty in the area. And this is now a 3rd and 8. Novosad from the pocket. Buying time. Throws late. Finds Rasmussen in the passing game. Outruns Fayoal. And an explosive play shift. Novosad moving guys around, directing traffic. Quick out down the middle. Nice play. Kenyon Sadiq on the wide pop. Quarter now. Quick out on an alert. That's Jerion Dickey. We have not called his name. Trey into the boundary left. Rasmussen up the middle. I don't know what Marquez Carty was doing. Door again. Trying to the right side. DJD. Rasmussen motions. Novosad to throw. Got his man. Hangs on. Hit as he caught it, but Kyler Casper's got it. It is an Oregon touchdown on 3rd and 4. The Ducks blow the horn, play the fight song, and take a 2-score lead. Once again, on their home turf, the mascot is hyped. Everyone but the Sonoma State fans are hyped about that. You'll see it on the replay. Very nice coverage, really, from us. This is good to great defense. You'll see it. The underneath guys bracketed. We force him to make a throw in between a defender. Over one, under another, right on time. He's able to do it. Jaden Bowie hits Kyler Casper right as he catches it. Can't knock it loose. Very good defense. Perfect execution almost from Oregon, and that results in a touchdown. Extra point is up and good. We rough the kicker for good measure. Frost in a quarterback play action. Nice blitz pickup. Looking for Ty Hardy. Obadegwu, their heels in at the right time. Make the plays they need to. Frost patient. On time, on target. Javon Moore. Play clock under 10 again. Quick out. Ty Hardy. He's been a little more quiet here after being a big part of the equation. Gonna fake a bubble. Throw vertically for Westerman. Can't quite connect. We ran a RPO bubble screen out of this formation last week that went for a touchdown to Matt Clancy. Essentially, well, go same formation, fake a bubble screen here and throw downfield. Typically, 3rd and inches, I feel like traditional thinking is like, hey, just put your head down and get it. Now, because defenses typically defend that way, I feel like it opens up some opportunities for shots, and we had one there, just couldn't execute. And so now we're going to try to put our head down and get it on 4th down, and nothing going on in that regard, stuffing it up in the middle. Just hadn't gone right up the gut with the fullback, at all this season. Rasmussen has space for the first time in a minute, couldn't set the edge. Gonna get in a blitz look playing man. Forces us into some odd alignment, so I manually put on some double teams. Great leverage with our coverage here. Try to manually adjust that because we're able to get some pressure into a different look or adjust someone or change where someone is a little quicker. Here, felt like I needed to try to make a return happen because letting our own 10, we do at least have the ball back. That may not last long. Pressure gets home quick, makes this an ever so critical down for this SSU offense. Gonna get into some fundamental, what are we on? Fundamental 4 verticals. Milo Westerman solo on solo right side. Back shoulder picking on Roderick Pleasant. Big gain, big yardage. Gets us out of the shadow of our own end zone too. Out quick to Bentley on the no huddle. And want to score before the 3-minute mark, ideally. Again, but getting the points is the most critical. Finding Bentley on the run there, get it over the backer. That is Tui. Calling out the signals is the freshman. Ty Hardy goes in motion from the left side of the backfield to the right side out wide. Quick out. 2 guys in the area to block. Neither one does it and just didn't execute. It's easier to go for it. And it makes it easier to go for it when you then miss the kick. That feels like a dagger to the heart in this one for SSU. Overall to the red zone that have resulted in 3 total points. So 17 potential points left on the board. And Rasmussen, in many respects, would get it close and had Foyao hitting the gap. From the 41, Rasmussen breaking tackles again. Finishing this game looking like Marshawn Lynch. 193 yards on 25 carries, over 50 yards receiving, 240-something total yards. I believe it's 245, and the Ducks are going to kneel it out. For the 2nd straight week, they are pushed into the 4th quarter. Had to respond, had a gritty test from a Pac-12 opponent, but we come up short on this occasion. The #1 team in the country prevailing. It is 26 carries for 193 yards for Vaughn Rasmussen. Even removing that 67-yard run, it is a pretty dang good game on the ground for him. The bright spot for us defensively would be 2 scores or 2 touchdowns surrendered on the first 2 possessions, 14 points surrendered on the first 2 possessions, 13 points then surrendered over the final 3 quarters of the game. Not outgained by too much, only 45 yards, but there you can see the rush success very heavily favoring the Ducks. They were also able to keep the ball on the ground a lot more than we were. We were able to throw it pretty well. Defended the pass okay, a fairly efficient game from Novosad, but not a lot of huge throws. Got an interception as well. There you see the receiving. Kyler Casper leads him in catches, but only 22 yards. Uiagalele was killing us. Bryce Frost and John Hill, both pretty solid stat lines overall. Nothing overly eye-popping, but we'll definitely take it. Nolan Knight couldn't get it going like we did a week ago on the ground. Ty Hardy involved in the ground game. He had a few carries as well for 18 yards. Josh LeBourne all over the place, 15 tackles, Bowie with 9, Riggins with 8. Solid performance for SSU. Very solid fight, but just not enough in the end. Tough loss, a lot of good moments in the game, a lot of good positives to take away going up against an opponent of that caliber, but a lot of things to correct, a lot to improve upon, and get better for the next time we take on a top-tier opponent. But looking around the rest of the country, Penn State beats Temple 27-10, Boston College over Rutgers 28-13, Texas State beats Texas San Antonio 21-13, Iowa State over Iowa 34-11, Oklahoma over Michigan 34-31, and then not one of the games I noted, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Texas beats Ohio State in Texas. The Longhorns have kind of struggled in this dynasty. They were not ranked. That's why it was not a noted game. Ohio State has lost in the national championship in both years of this dynasty, and they were highly ranked going into this game. Lose to Texas, who lost to Texas State last week, if I'm remembering correctly. So maybe a win that can swing some momentum for the Longhorns, and then trying to do a better job of noting the UCSB results every week. They took on FAU this week and picked up a 34-14 victory over the Owls. So a good bounce back performance for them after their loss versus USC in week 1. But next week, we return home. We will take on Rice, the runners-up in the Mountain West a season ago, looking to bounce back from the loss in this one. I will see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, take care.